As the sky roared with thunder and lightning on that dark night, Peter returned to his apartment, trying to comprehend what he had just gone through. But deep down, he felt something else was coming, something bigger than anything he had ever faced before. The darkness wasn't over yet. It was lurking in a place he couldn't quite pinpoint. The next day, Peter noticed strange changes in his powers. Instead of growing stronger, he felt his body slowing down as if an invisible force was draining his energy. His visions became sharper and more mysterious. He saw faces and places he didn't recognize, as if they were messages from the future or warnings of something terrifying on the horizon. In one of these visions, he found himself standing on the rooftop of a towering building, watching New York descend into endless chaos. The sky was dark without stars, and the city was filled with grotesque creatures resembling those he had encountered in the mirror. A storm was coming, but it wasn't an ordinary storm. It was a storm of darkness, threatening to swallow everything in its path. Peter snapped back to reality, drenched in sweat. He knew he didn't have much time left. These visions were beginning to come true bit by bit, and he realized that what he was seeing wasn't just nightmares, but a prophecy. Warning of an impending disaster. He had to find a way to stop this dark entity before it was too late. Peter began searching for any information that could help him. He delved into old books and manuscripts that Dr. Strange had kept from their previous encounters. As he immersed himself in studying these ancient texts, he uncovered something unexpected: the existence of an ancient secret order that had been battling this entity for thousands of years. The order, known as the Guardians of Light, possessed a legendary weapon, capable of defeating the entity once and for all. But reaching this weapon wouldn't be easy. It was buried deep within an abandoned underground city, protected by a labyrinth filled with traps and evil creatures. Peter had no choice but to venture there, no matter the danger. He embarked on his journey through the dark tunnels, using all his intelligence and strength. With every step, he faced new challenges. The place was full of traps that required him to be at his sharpest, and relentless, fierce creatures hunted him. But he was determined to reach his goal because the fate of the entire world hung by a thread. After hours of navigating the darkness, Peter finally reached a vast chamber lit by an ancient flame in the center. In the heart of the room stood a stone altar, holding the legendary weapon, a dagger made of pure light. But before he could touch the weapon, the dark entity appeared before him, manifesting as a nightmarish figure that filled the space with the stench of death and decay. This was the same entity that had pursued him all along, now more powerful than Peter could have imagined. The entity began speaking to him, using its voice to shake Peter's faith in himself. It tried to sow doubt in Peter's heart, telling him that the darkness had always been a part of him and that he could not escape his true nature. But in a crucial moment of inner struggle, Peter remembered everyone he had fought for, everyone he had lost, and everyone he had promised to protect. He knew that the darkness was not his fate, but just another challenge he had to overcome. He lunged toward the dagger, grasping it firmly, and with all his willpower, he plunged it into the heart of the entity. The entity let out a horrific scream, a sound that made it dissolve into the darkness, leaving Peter alone in the chamber. He knew that he had finally defeated the entity, but the cost was high. His body and soul were exhausted, but he emerged from the chamber carrying the weapon, ready to face whatever might come in the future. Peter returned to the city, but this time he was different. He was no longer the hero New York had known. He was a seasoned warrior who bore his scars with pride. He knew that the darkness would always pursue him, but now he had the weapon and the will to stand against it and prevent it from destroying everything he loved.